On today's video, I am going to give you the biggest secret to selling houses. If you will do this one thing, I promise you will make a lot of money selling houses. Here we go. What we're going to talk about today is the most important thing to becoming a successful realtor. There is nothing else more important than the one thing we're going to talk about today. But first, we're going to talk about playing trumpets, because I have young kids who are just now learning instruments. And so this is the trumpet, this is the book. If I just hand somebody a trumpet, can they learn it? No, they don't know what to do. So it comes with the book. This is the 5th grade book. We use this in 5th grade and 6th grade apparently. And so what does it start off with? Getting started. This is about how to play trumpet. Now what happens if you just read it? You're gonna learn about how to play trumpet, but are you gonna learn how to play trumpet? No, you have to actually do it. Now what we've had to struggle with all summer getting up to this next school year is their mouths hurt. They quit too fast. You can only play for like a minute and then they're complaining, oh, my lips hurt, my lips hurt. Well, what's happened over the last few weeks is we have forced them to do it consistently. So consistency is the secret to everything. That's how you learn how to play piano. It's how you learn how to play trumpet. It's how you learn how to play violin. It's consistency. That's called practice. Practice all the time. Practice, practice, practice makes perfect. That's how you learn how to play trumpet. Now, let's talk about something else, because if you have ever been on a diet, I want you to think about times in the past you've dieted. How did you do? Because I'm going to tell you, the most successful real estate agents are just like the people who have dieted and lost a lot of weight and kept it off. I have so much respect for anyone who has dieted and lost weight and kept it off, because there is nothing harder than dieting and losing weight and keeping it off. That's the most, that if you were ever looking to hire anybody for your company, or that is the job description right there. Guaranteed success is looking at someone who has dieted and lost weight, because it's so similar to how to become a real estate agent. It's just like when we practice all summer, when there's no school, there's no accountability. There's no test. We're just practicing for fun, getting ready for this next school year. It's just like in real estate. There is no accountability. There's no boss. There's no whip. If you don't work today, you're on probation. You're fired after 3 months of lack of listings. You can get a job with any real estate company. They'll take you, they'll take your license, your work there. Doesn't matter if you sell. They're not going to fire you. They're not going to let you go. They're not going to do probation, and they're not going to make you sell. But if you're in corporate sales, or say you have any job, a real corporate type job where you're paid every 2 weeks, if you don't show up for work, you're going to hear about it. Oh, you know, must have slept in. But if you do that all 5 days in a row for that week, and the next week, and you're showing up late, some days you're not even showing up at all, what is your boss going to do? They're going to have a chat with you. And then if it keeps up, you're fired. That doesn't happen when you're dieting or when you're doing real estate. And so the consistency is the key. Now, let's talk about what the reality is of dieting. Here's what most people do dieting. Now, first, you need a plan. You have to have a plan of what you're going to do with dieting. You need to know what it is you're going to eat, what you can't eat. You need to put together Probably you're going to go work out, or you're going to walk around the block, maybe get on a treadmill. You're going to do these things. How often are you going to do it? If you go to the gym, how often do you go? Let's say 3 times a week. What do you do when you get there? You need to have a list. You need to have a plan. It's just like in real estate. Most realtors quit because they have no plan. They just don't. And if they did have a plan, they don't stick to it. They quit. They give up. They give up really fast too. It's just like in the gym. Have you noticed when you go to your gym, it's packed the first and second week of January? That's where they make all their money. All the New Year's resolutions. Everybody wants to lose weight, get in shape. So they all go join a gym. So they go, and it's just like playing trumpet. It hurts at first. Nobody likes it. It's horrible. Are you going to see any results from that first workout? None, except you're in pain. You're sore. It's just, and then the hunger pains because you're dieting. You can't have a full meal at 11 o'clock at night anymore. You can't have bags of chips and donuts for breakfast. It's not on the list. It's not part of the plan. So people quit way too fast. Here's what's going to happen. Let's say you're overweight right now, or you know someone who is overweight and they need to lose 50 pounds. Here's the first question they need to ask of themselves. Can they lose 50 pounds? Is it possible? Is that a goal that's obtainable? Because if it is, they need to figure out how to do it. If you want to be a successful realtor, how do you do it? Can you sell houses? Are you capable? And if the answer is yes, then you need to put together a plan. How are you going to do it? Now, let's go back to dieting, because dieting's hard. It's really, really, really hard. So you put together a plan. Here's what I'm going to eat. Here's what I cannot eat. You go through the pantry. If you're smart, you'll go through the pantry and you will throw away everything bad that you can't have anymore. And then you're going to replace it with what you can have. You're going to eat healthier. You're going to not eat as much, probably late at night. You're probably going to eliminate fast food. That means no more McDonald's, Taco Bell, Sonic, Burger King. I'll go on and on and on with that. You're going to eliminate sugary pop. You're going to eliminate greasy fries. Just doing that. Will you see results? Oh, yes, absolutely. But what's the key? Consistency. It means you can't be cheating and going still to McDonald's just half as much. That means you do it consistently right. You put together a plan. Now, let's say you do want to lose 50 pounds and you put together what you're going to do. I'm going to just walk on a treadmill 20 minutes a day, 3 or 4 times a week. I'm going to change my eating habits. What will happen after week number 1? Probably nothing. Just so you know, probably nothing. You're going to be really sore. You're going to be really grouchy because you're starving at night. Week number 2, if you make it all the way through week number 1, now we're in week number 2 and you're still doing good. You're following the plan. What's going to happen? You're probably going to lose a pound. Over the next month, what happens if you follow your plan and don't cheat and don't quit, don't give up? Do what you're supposed to do the whole month. What will happen? If you're dieting, you're going to lose weight. It's going to work. You're going to lose weight. Do you understand that? You will lose weight. Now, don't cheat. Don't quit. Don't get off of the consistency. You do that for a whole second month. What's going to happen? You're going to lose some more weight. Now, are you going to be frustrated during this? Yes, because you're not going to see results very often. Time will have to pass. You're going to have to do everything in real estate the same way. You've got to do it consistently for a long period of time, and you will see results. Now, let's talk about what you do. So I want to make sure you understand, if you have a plan, and it's a good plan, if you know this plan will work, then if you follow the plan like you're supposed to, it's going to work in real estate too. Now, is it hard? Yes. So understand that going in, you're going to be frustrated. Let's talk about open houses, for example. Do open houses work? Do they work? Or are they all just a big waste of time? Because you're going to hear both from people in your office. I'm going to tell you this. Open houses work. I've had more success at open houses over the last 23 years than probably anybody else because I do them with consistency. I do them on a regular basis. Now, my first 5 to 10 years, I did them all the time. Almost every week, I did an open house. Now, you might go through 5 or 6 bad open houses where nobody came, or some people come, but you pick up no clients. But then you get a client, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't really know what to do with them. I haven't had any success from open houses. And you sign them up. I've got videos on how to do amazing open houses. You should watch those, please, because I tell you exactly what I do and agents on my team. Why do we pick up, even in the last 6 months, especially going back a year? Now, we lost about 3 months during COVID where we couldn't do open houses, but we're back doing open houses and they work. They work. What's the key to them? Consistency. Don't just do 1. Don't just do 10. 10's not enough. Consistency is the key to open houses. Now, let's talk about your circle of influence list. If you don't have a list put together, shame on you. You need to have a list. How do you expect to sell anything if you don't have a COI list? I'm going to put together a couple of videos because that is the number one most important thing you will ever own in your life is your COI list. That's your circle of influence or your community of influence. It's not people who you know. It's people who know you. That's a big difference. Now, they should all go in your list, but think about people who know you. That's how you put this together. It's your database of names. And then what do you do with that? You contact them. How often? Consistently. Regularly. With mailings. By texting them. By sending them instant messages through Facebook, because most of them are probably Facebook friends. Try calling them. Nobody likes to make calls, right? But this is your COI list. These aren't strangers. These are not expireds and FSBOs, which also work, by the way, only if you do those consistently. Don't just do those for a week and think, oh, this is hard. These don't work. Expireds do work. If you call on expireds and you've got a system of how to rush over there the next morning with the packet and you work those expireds, you're going to make so much money selling houses. Same with for sale by owners. Now you might think, well, everybody's calling them. No, they're not. Hardly anybody in your office is calling on expireds and FSBOs because most people can't handle the rejection. And so they don't want to do that. And that's why they work. You can buy leads, but if you do, you've got to consistently contact these people fast, really fast. Now, everything you do, you're always asking for referrals, whether it's from your brother or your parents or everybody you know, always ask for referrals. I ask for referrals all the time. So does every successful realtor in your office. And the one thing every agent in your office has in common is consistency. That is the key, because the more people who know you sell houses, the more houses you're going to sell. That's the secret. The more people who know you sell houses, the more houses you're going to sell. So it's self-promoting your name. That's how you sell a lot of houses. But you have to do it consistently because people have a very short memory. They will forget what you do. They won't be able to find your phone number when they need it because you haven't been consistently contacting them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is the secret to losing weight. It's the secret to playing an instrument. It's the secret to being a successful real estate agent. Consistency. Thanks for watching.